A new week, the GMs are in Vegas, and the Dodgers are trying to hit a jackpot. What's up, everybody? I'm Jim Rodriguez, and welcome to the Monday here on Dodgers Latest. Always happy to be part of your day. Thanks for making it here. As always, you can always hit me up right there on Instagram and on X at JRodShow. And of course, you can always keep the community growing here on the YouTube channel at Dodgers Latest. Like, subscribe, share, tell a friend. Hit those thumbs up button, like. That what keeps the algorithm moving and keeps us doing what we do. You have been growing this, and we appreciate it. And, of course, we're going to have comments as we usually do in the winter meetings. And, yeah, more hot stove talk. The GMs are in Vegas for their winter meetings. It's the GM meetings only. Not necessarily going to get any wheeling and dealing in this session. That's going to be more for the winter meetings in Orlando, which are in early December. But maybe this is where the GMs start to talk a little bit. Hey, could you move this guy? What would you want with this? Owners are around, talking to agents. Hey, this, that, and the other. It's definitely a way to sort of lay the groundwork, sow the seed, if you will, for the winter meetings in December. And, of course, the big fish, the one everybody's talking about, is King Tuck. That's right. Kyle Tucker, free agent out of Chicago. Remember, he spent a lot of years with the Astros, Silver Slugger, All-Star, World Series champion with Houston. Houston then traded him to the Cubs last season to get something out of him, and the Cubs have let him go into free agency. Those are his numbers with Chicago. Not the greatest batting average, but he did have 22 homers, 25 doubles, and he is a bit of a doubles machine. When you really stop and think about it, he was 30-30 in 2021. He was 30 in 21 and in 22. And in 23, he was one homer away from going 30-30 again. 30 homers, 30 doubles. Those numbers from last year only came in 136 games as he was injured. Listen, he's going to be 29 in January, plays right field. And he is going to be the big fish. Now, how much is it going to take? Is it $400 million? Not quite Vladimir Guerrero, certainly not quite Juan Soto, but he is elected to go free agency, and the Dodgers, of course, are the biggest suitor. But the question is, okay, so you sign him, where does he go? I mean, he's a right fielder. He can play left field, but he's a natural right fielder. That's where he's played in the field most of it. And, of course, that tells me, what does that do for Teoscar Hernandez? And that's the question I think everyone needs to ask because, listen, Teoscar, he is what he is, right? 25 homers, 89 RBIs. Look at that OPS, though. 738. That is the lowest OPS since his rookie year back in 2016. Of course, he had a big year in 24 with 33 homers, was a tick short with 99 RBIs. But that 247, 25, and 89 had some big hits in the playoffs, but he's going to be 34 in October. So that tells me, between Freddie, between Mookie, between Teo, and even Ohtani, Dodgers all of a sudden aren't the youngest bunch of guys out there. You bring in a Kyle Tucker who hasn't even turned 30 yet. That would definitely give them some more length, give them some more youth, and give them guys that in maybe 4 or 5 years, this guy could still be here. The question is, what do you do with Teo? He's a right fielder, but let's be honest. He looks like he's playing on roller skates out there, right? Not the best glove, not the greatest arm, doesn't track balls very well. It would be very easy to move Teo over to left field and then have Tucker play right field. That would be Tucker's position. So you could have an outfield of Teoscar in left, maybe Andy Pages in center, and then Kyle Tucker in right. And if you re-sign Kike Hernandez, he's out there as well. Interesting take. I think there's going to be other teams that are going to go after Kyle Tucker as well. And so, to me, everybody keeps saying Dodgers, but I'm hearing Phillies. I'm hearing Phillies a lot. And, of course, the Yankees are always in the mix. And then I'm also hearing about Bo Bichette. And that's where we get to our, part of the show where you get involved. We always ask you to bring up your comments. Bo Bichette probably had one of the best walk years you're going to have, right? Because Teoscar Hernandez is he 2 years ago had that 33.99 home RBI season, and that turned him into a 3-year, $66 million contract. But a bunch of it is deferred. So for Teo, that last year or this year was year one of that 3-year, $66 million. So here comes Bo Bichette, and all of a sudden has a great World Series. Plays hurt, has a big home run, was playing out of position, and the question is, well, the Dodgers should go after Bichette, right? Well, that's what some of you think, right here. Like Nick says, I'd rather get Bichette instead of Tucker. Really? You'd rather have Bo Bichette instead of Kyle Tucker? Here's the problem with Bo Bichette. Where does he play? Because he's a shortstop. He played a little second base, did a little DHing. Well, DH is taken. Second base is not his position, and Mookie Betts is at shortstop. So if you don't sign Kyle Tucker, does that mean what this other comment is? Should Betts go back out to the outfield and the Dodgers get a shortstop? Curious, right? Well, I think if they don't get Kyle Tucker, and I don't know how long Bo Bichette is going to be out on the market, if you don't get Kyle Tucker, you could get Bo Bichette, put him at short, and now Mookie goes back out to right. I think whatever happens, Teo is going to be out in left field because again, he plays out there like he's on roller skates. He can't play right field. He can't track balls anymore. Singles or doubles, doubles or triples. It's always an adventure with him, even just catching the ball sometimes. So would you rather have Bo Bichette or would you rather have Kyle Tucker? I think Bo Bichette plays a great position at shortstop, but Mookie Betts is a Gold Glover. He's a guy that came from the right field over to shortstop. I don't think you do that to him, and I think Bo Bichette is going to be in the National League next year, but I think he's going to be with the Atlanta Braves. I think that's everything that I've been hearing. The Yankees are always in the mix, but I think the Braves are a spot. They're looking to replace Dansby Swanson, who, after leaving for free agency to the Cubs, really the Braves have had a bit of a hole out there, and maybe give them a little bit of backup to with Acuna and they need him more than the Dodgers need Bichette, and I think there's a lot of interest from Bichette to go to Atlanta. So I think Bichette is gone. He's not leaving Toronto. I mean, he's not going to come back to Toronto. You feel the Blue Jays have already made between Ernie Clement, and Andres Jimenez, and Addison Barger. I think they've got that sort of second, short, third rotation ready to go because they don't expect Bo Bichette to come back. I think Bo Bichette's going to end up in Atlanta more than anything else. So I think Kyle Tucker is still in play. And, of course, Murakami, he has posted. So he is now in play as well to see what team will sign him. They've got it's a 45-day window. So lots going on. And then we get this guy from our buddy Jim. All right, so if I could choose two out of Tucker, Bellinger, Bichette, Murakami, Edwin Diaz, and Devin Williams, I would pick Murakami and Edwin Diaz. Interesting spot there. Edwin Diaz, I don't see him coming out west. I don't know for a fact that he's mad at the Dodgers, but remember the Dodgers had his brother Alexis during the part of the regular season. He's going to get a ring, and they never really gave him a chance to close after they got him from Cincinnati. I don't think Edwin's coming to L.A. Edwin's a little bit getting longer on the tooth. I think he may end up in Baltimore. Could re-sign with the Mets again because he opted out of a 5-year contract to try to get more money. I don't think Edwin Diaz is going to be the guy. Devin Williams, I hear Marlins more than anything else with him as he needs to start over again. Interesting. I think the Dodgers are committed to Tanner Scott. For as crazy as that sounds, I think they are committed to Tanner Scott because they got 3 more years on the books with this guy. So you're going to try to get him right. And then in the once the season starts, I still think the guy they're going to focus in on is Pete Fairbanks of the Rays, who's got 1 year left in 2026, and the Dodgers have that relationship with Tampa. So in summation, Kyle Tucker, could play right. Teo has to move over to left field. Bichette, I don't think is happening. And for the Dodgers, another day goes by. Who is going to get Murakami? It's going to get really interesting as winter meetings are kicking up and they're starting in early December. I'm Jim Rodriguez. Let's have some fun. Enjoy the offseason. And remember, it's always time for Dodger Baseball.